G'day and welcome to this week's Fribat, Friday Beers and Tools with Andy. Well, yesterday was Anzac Day. That's a very special day for Australians in general, but also ex-servicemen, veterans such as myself. Yeah, so Anzac Day means a hell of a lot to Australians, especially as a grandson of an Anzac who survived and went on to actually have a family, and thank goodness, because otherwise I wouldn't be here. Very thankful for all of the Anzac heritage, and thankful for all of Australian and New Zealand servicemen and women who have given us this freedom that we have today, lest we forget. All right, let's get on to a beer. This is another Tassie beer. It's a bit of a funny name, this one. This is called Pulp Friction, and it is a West Coast IPA, and it's actually, as I mentioned, made in Tasmania here. It's from down south in New Norfolk, which is near Hobart, about 2.5 hours away from here. Anyway, happy Friday. Oh, that's nice. It's got a really nice, good body feel to it. Oh yeah, that's good. Let's see what they've got to say about their Pulp Friction. So this comes from a brewery, as I mentioned, down south in New Norfolk in Tasmania, called Welcome Swallow Brewery. Interesting name. And Pulp Friction, obviously a play on words of Pulp Fiction. Pretty cool design on their can label. So what have they got to say? They say hazy again, I dare you, I double dare you. Pulp Friction, the West Coast IPA that'll make you want to dance the twist, with a blend of Citra, Cryo, Simcoe and Strata hops that's more refreshing than a $5 shake. Get your hands on this very limited release. Website sales close on blah blah blah. For our Tasmanian beer drinkers, this beer is currently available at a tap room or at your favourite bottle shop. So I don't know whether it's available on the mainland. You can definitely taste the Citra hops. It's got that really nice, mild, very mild citric sort of flavour to it. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting in a good way. Don't get me wrong. That's very nice beer. All right, so limited edition Pulp Friction West Coast IPA. What's my verdict on the Pulp Friction? That's bloody nice. That's a solid 4.5 spanners out of 5. Cheers. All right, on to this week's tool. It's a bit of a geeky one, this one. This is another TEMU tool. Seem to be on a bit of a TEMU streak at the moment, but as I mentioned previously, TEMU does have a $45, sometimes $55 minimum buy, so I have to sort of batch my orders. This is a network toolkit to be able to do Cat5, Cat5e and Cat6 cable ends. I'm in a little bit of a process at the moment of rejigging our home Wi-Fi network, and we'll be also adding, I've already run cables to my shed, we'll be adding Wi-Fi, we'll be adding a router to the shed to give me better coverage up there. And so having an ability to terminate Cat5, Cat5e and Cat6 cables, I think I've run Cat6 cables to the shed, is particularly handy. This kit is an 11-in-1 portable kit, and I'll give you a bit of a picture of it here. Also got some crimp ends as well, the actual cable ends from TEMU at the same time. And this was a whole $26.24, which when you compare that to other suppliers is pretty damn good. So what comes inside the kit? I'll put some pictures up as I go. So it does RJ45, RJ11, RJ12 connectors, and as I mentioned, suitable for Cat5, Cat5e cable, and also Cat6. It comes with a multifunction cable tester as well, so that once you've done your connection, you can actually use the cable tester on it to make sure that you've got a good connection. The included list in the kit comes with crimping pliers, wire stripping knife, a flat / cross blade screwdriver, stripping pliers knife, punch down tool, crystal headwork cable tester, and RJ45 connectors. Quite a comprehensive kit. Having the ability to test as well is very handy. It's just a simple end-to-end tester. Plug in one end, plug in the other end, and that tells you whether your cables are good or not. So for $26, $27 odd, this is a very comprehensive kit. It does come with some connectors. I bought extras because I've got a few cables to do, plus always handy to be able to do them for friends and family if they need it. And it seems really well made, seems really well designed. Almost all of these tools, regardless of their branding, are made in China or Taiwan, so they all come out of the same factory. Okay, so for $27 odd, what's my verdict on the 11-in-1 TEMU cable crimper and tester set? Look, it's a 5 out of 5 for value for money for me. That's $27. You know, you'll pay that for a decent crimper nowadays. The Chinese are very good at making this stuff, and as I mentioned, they pretty much make it for everyone in the world, regardless of branding as well. So 5 out of 5 for value for money. For quality, everything seems to be really well made. Tolerances on the crimpers seem to be really good. Obviously, I can't attest to the cable tester yet. Haven't used that, but I expect that will be. It's just an end-to-end tester, so there's nothing complicated in there. A series of lights showing that you've got continuity between each of the pins. Yeah, look, I'm impressed. For me, it's a 5 out of 5 for functionality as well. I look forward to getting my house and shed network a little bit more improved over the next few weeks and months. Alrighty, well that's it for this week's Fribat. Nice and short and sweet. I hope things are good where you are. A couple of pictures up here of my grandfather. As I mentioned, was an original Anzac 109 years ago. He actually came ashore on the beaches of Gallipoli under heavy fire and was shot several times, was repatriated, and actually they sent him back and was shot more, and they eventually sent him home. Anyway, hope things are good with you. Happy Friday. Well, home hi-fi